Good morning, everyone. Imagine waking up in early hours of the morning and only to feel the ground beneath your feet, begins to shake. At first, you think that it might simple, be a passing truck or a minor vibration, but within seconds, building begins to sway, roads cracks open, power line collapse, and people rush out of their home in panic. And the earth, sometime we often believe to be solid or stable, suddenly remind us that it is constantly alive and constantly moving. This is exactly what happened in Venezuela when a powerful earthquake measuring 7.2 to 7.5 on the Richter scale struck the country. The impact was devastating. Hundreds of people lost their life. Many above were injured, rescued by the team. So beyond, the number lines, a much deeper question lies that what does this means to our planet? This was the article in that thousand feared killed as twin quake rock Venezuela, many trapped under the rubbles of the buildings. So this is the news article, and today I do not simply want to discuss a news headline. Instead, I want you to understand that why earthquake occur, what actually happens beneath the earth surface, how scientists measure them, and why some region including the part of India are more vulnerable than the other. So this earthquake, it had the magnitude of 7.2 to 7.5. As you can see, focus is the hypocenter, the point inside the earth, where the earthquake has originated. And here, I have marked some of the falls of Venezuela, which are center of the earthquake. As you can see in this image, epicenter is a point on earth surface, which directly feels the energy to be bursting out, and that is what we call the magnitude. So by the end of the session you will understand that why Venezuela was stuck by it, and we will discuss this in step by step. Okay, so tell me, what do you know about faults? Have you ever seen a rock? Right, rock has multiple crack. The crack in the rock develops, why? Because of the pressure that is exerted by some or other natural phenomena. So fault is a fracture, a crack in the earth crust, right, where the rocks are moving. Are you getting me? And first we will briefly examine that what are the type and what are the causes of earthquake. you know So let us begin. The first one is the tectonic earthquakes. The tectonic earthquakes occur because because uh, of the lithospheric plate, which is on which we all are living. So after we will examine this, we will understand that most of the earthquake across the world are caused by this lithospheric or tectonic earthquake, and the movement of magma beneath the volcanoes is the causes the volcanic earthquake. And finally we will look at collapse earthquake are what that they are caused because there are many more cave inside the earth, which which collapse, because of which there is an earthquake. And last one, which is more fascinating one in this case, is the human induced earthquake. So, induced earthquake, which results from the activities such as deep mining, deep fluid injection, and reservoir induced, seismicity. So, let's understand this. Let's understand what's deep fluid injection. Okay. Now, here I want your utmost, attention, because one momentary lapse of attention, can result, in loss of knowledge. And now let us understand what do we mean by deep fluid injections. So let us understand this, that it is a process of pumping a large amount of liquid, usually water, waste, or chemical, deep underground through deeply, specifically drilled wells. So that, which means that we will, drill a hole inside the earth. Whatever wastewater or liquid or chemicals we do not need anymore, what human do that? They put that into that hole, because of which, what will happen, that the water will move deeper and deeper. Now this hole is, commonly done during an oil and natural gas extraction, geothermal energy project, and the disposal of like industrial wastewater. So normally rock beneath the earth surface are, held together by friction. So however, like high pressure there is, the pressure inside the tiny cracks and pore increases, because of which what will happen, that the reduce of friction is there. If fault, is already under stress, and even a small increase in pressure can cause it to suddenly slip, and there will be release of energy. If you're not understanding, okay, let's understand and let's break it down. So one of the famous example is of the state of Oklahoma. Okay, there the number of earthquake increased dramatically, after the large volume of wastewater from the oil and gas operation was injected deep underground under the earth. Okay, so scientists, discovered that many of these earthquake which were linked to deep, fluid injection, rather than natural tectonic activity. At that time in Oklahoma it was discovered. Are you getting this? Okay. So let's just understand this with an example of a table and book. Okay, we'll break down the fact, and absolutely I'll tell you in that way that you will never forget that what is deep fluid injection. Okay. So let us consider that there is a table. Let me draw a table here. Okay. This is your table, right? Just observe it, okay, carefully. This is your table, right? See, on this table, we are going to put two heavy books, and you need to tell me that if we will, press these two books from above, what will happen? Yes, they will grapple up each other, like there will be gripping, right? They don't move because they are gripping each other. The grip is called friction. Now imagine that I slowly pour a soapy type of water between these books. I put a soapy water here, okay? And now I ask you to take out one book. Now you need to tell me that in case 1 when there was no soapy water, and in case 2 where there is addition of soapy water, where it will be easy, like much more easy, to take out the book. Where? Yes, when we are putting the soapy water here. Why? Because the soapy water is decreasing the friction, is decreasing the gripping, right? Because of which now you can take out the book very easily. The book suddenly slide, much more easily, because the soap water has reduced the grip between them. So that is almost what happened underground. Okay. This is our earth. Let's draw our earth. Okay. So this is our earth, right? This is equator. And here is some, this is a plate, suppose. So here now what we are going to do, that we are going to create a hole. In this hole we are going to pour some waste water. Now when we pour this water, it will reach, inside the earth. And suppose there was a rock in the middle of this, this rock, had some crack which we call fault. Right? The water reaches here. So earlier, because of, the natural pressure, there was friction. The crack developed. These rocks have been pushing against each other for 100 or even 1,000 of years, but they don't move because there was a strong grip, earlier. But when we pour the water, what happened? Suppose the company went to dispose of the wastewater from an oil field, so it will, instead of leaving it on the surface, they drill a very deep hole and they keep pumping the water underground, more. So where the water is going, it is entering the cracks inside the rock. Think of pouring a water into a dry sponge. The sponge become full of water. Similarly, the crack inside the rocks become filled with water. So what will happen, that the water act almost like a lubricant. It will make it easier for the rock to slide. And remember, the books, like books with soap. So exactly the same idea. The rocks are already trying to move. So the simple water make it easier finally to slip. One rock suddenly move when it sleeps. It send energy in every direction, and energy become a earthquake. So this is very important, that many students think that water pushes the rock apart. Note here that not exactly, the rocks were already under the stress here, because of the tectonic plate have been pushing them for thousands of years, and the injection of water has simply reduced the grip between them, right? So we need to remember it, that the water is not pushing, the rocks were already trying to move, so this lubricant basically supported the reducing of the friction. The pulling force was already there. The oil simply made them to lose the grip, and this is exactly what we call the deep fluid injection. This is why deep fluid injection is a major challenge. And you all know that when we talk about this country Venezuela, it's already the one of the highest reserve of the world of the crude oil, right? So it had been in news earlier. There was also shocks. Now another one is this earthquake, like two major earthquake. So that's why as it is a center of oil mining, so they were throwing in the water inside. This can be a cause, at as earlier we see in Oklahoma, right? Am I making sense? So now another reason that we should know is reservoir induced seismicity. What is this? Hmm? I'm going to make you understand this with an example of the Koyna Dam. Okay. Uh, do you know anything about the Koyna Dam? First, let me ask you: do you know anything that what actually happened there? It is one of the most famous example in geography. So you should know that why it's famous, and let me know that where this dam actually is. So suppose, in order to understand the this type of earthquake, we call it reservoir induced seismicity. Remember it, that reservoir is what? Reservoir is dam. Okay. So suppose we have a wooden table. This is our wooden table, right? And we are going to put like 100 bricks on this wooden table. What do you think will happen when we put like 100 bricks on this? Huh? We are keep we are keeping we keep putting the bricks on this table. As a result, this wooden table will start bending, right? It will start bending, and it will eventually break. When doing we are putting pressure, when we are adding the pressure, so what happened, that the table begins to bend under the enormous weight. It may not break immediately, but it is definitely under great stress than before. So the same thing will happen to the earth crust. Okay, now we are going to imagine a valley. So let's draw two mountains here. These are the two mountains, okay? And I want you all to pay attention, because one momentary lapse of concentration can result in huge loss. So I want your attention here. So these are two mountain valleys, and between this valley, uh you know the river flow peacefully between the two mountains. So the river is going like this, right? So nothing unusual, we all know about this. Now what the two engineers decided, there are these two engineers, and what they decided, that we will build a huge dam on this river. we will build a reservoir, a dam here. So because of this dam which they are thinking like they will create, what will happen now? Huh? This water will collect here, right? Sooner the dam is completed and water start collecting behind it. So now what will happen? Days after days, week after week, eventually a massive reservoir of water will form. Right? Billion of tons of water begin to store in one place. Water is heavy, okay? Water is heavy. When we are talking about 1 cubic water, it's equal to 1 cubic meter of water. It's equal to 1,000 kilogram. So now imagine that it's a rough figure, you can check. Now imagine a million of cubic of water, that's a enormous load of pressure down on the earth crust. It's a pressure on the earth crust, right? This is putting the pressure down on the earth. So but here the interesting point is that most people will now think that the earthquake happened because the water is heavy. No, this is only half of the story. The water doesn't sit on the surface. Some of it slowly seeps into the tiny cracks. Now this water, this dam which is on the earth, the water will move inside the earth. What will happen now? You remember I told you about that there are cracks inside the earth in the rock because of the already existing pressure from thousands of years. It will enter there. The rocks were already uh they were the water gradually enters the cracks and the fault. Now connect the point that you've already learned, that the example of two books, the rocks underground already have stress. So now normally friction prevents from slipping, but now when water will enter there will be slipping. Now the water enter the cracks, it reduces the grips between the rock, and at the same time the huge weight of reservoir pressure is down on the crust. So they are going to move with a view, much more force. The weight of the water increases the stress, and the steep water reduces friction. So seeping water reduces the friction and it makes the rocks easier to slip. Eventually the faults give the way, the rocks suddenly move, and the energy is released and an earthquake occurs. So this is a real life example of the Koyna Dam. A Koyna Dam kahan pe? This is in Maharashtra. I gave you enough time to think and find. Now it's time for me to disclose that where is Koyna Dam? Koyna Dam is in Maharashtra. So the story is like this. The dam was completed in 1960. ध्यान से सुनना, 1960 में डैम बन गया. After that, the reservoir filled with water, and scientists began noticing, some small earthquake in the surrounding area. महाराष्ट्र में धीरे धीरे भूकंप के झटके देखने लगे. Then in 1967, the region experienced a strong earthquake about 6.3 magnitude. Very high, and like the earthquake caused significant damage. It killed around 180 people and injured many more. So although the region already have geological faults, many scientists believe that the filling of Koyna reservoir contributing to triggering the earthquake. एंड दैट्स वाई अब जब भी हम कभी देखते हैं ना कोई डैम का प्रोजेक्ट आ रहा है या फिर कोई डैम बनने वाला है या फिर हम कभी भी किसी डैम के बारे में हम स्टडी करते हैं कौन सी रिवर पे कौन सा डैम है, इट्स नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट कि हमें पता होना चाहिए कि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कहाँ से बन रही है. देखो, this is important, but another thing is that dams are responsible for earthquake. अगर कोई earthquake prone area है, if the earthquake if the area is like a zone 5-4, then it is most dangerous. Now let's understand the type of zones that we have in our country. There are two types of wave: P waves, S waves. P waves are longitudinal, S waves are transversal, right? P waves speed is more in comparison to the S wave. P waves travel from solid, liquid, gas. S wave doesn't travel to liquid and gas because of the shear and the S wave only moves to move from the solid. This is all about it. Magnitude, that the amount of energy which is releasing, and intensity is the effect on that location, right? So modified Mercalli intensity scale is used, and in order to measure the magnitude, can you tell me what we use to measure? seismograph, right? There are like these type of zigzag lines. If the length is more, that means the magnitude and the energy release was more on seismograph, right? We use this, and it is a logarithmic scale. This is all you need to know about it, and I'll discuss that in the later part also. And there is one thing that okay, let me tell you. If so, listen to me now very carefully. Suppose the magnitude is of 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, first we are going to discuss the amplitude. What we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss the amplitude. Okay. Let me draw it again. It was not clear. 5, 6, 7. And ध्यान से देखना. This is magnitude. Okay. Now, what we are going to tell you, I was telling you about amplitude. And then I was telling you about the energy. Listen. So what I'm going to tell you is that when there is increase in magnitude, suppose we have this reading, these zigzag readings like this of, let's see, suppose if we are supposing that the magnitude of 5 was giving a reading of 1 centimeter, okay, on our this scale. So the line here basically is of 1 centimeter length, right? But when we look at the lines which we are getting for 6 magnitude, it's 10 centimeter. So what does it mean? That every time the amplitude is increasing by 10. Okay, so if we are moving from 5 to 6, increase in 10. If we are moving from 5 to 7, then 100. If we are moving from 5 to 8, then, so can you see a logarithmic scale? We are getting the we are getting the amplitude in the multiple of 10. But when we talk about the energy is the multiple of 32. So if it's mean that if today the earthquake was of 5 magnitude, and it led to the fall of one building means, what I'm trying to say is that suppose there is an earthquake and the magnitude is of 5, and suppose in the area there's only one building, a very tall building, which fall. However, there were no people. Let's consider this. Now next time when this magnitude will be 6, then the damage, the energy release here, the energy which was here in magnitude 5, okay, suppose it was 1, but now next time when the magnitude is 6, so energy will be 32 times more. That means now 32 buildings can fall. It means this. Now when next time, now if the magnitude of 7, then 32 into 32, this much building can fall, this much more energy will release. So energy is releasing in the form in the multiple of 32. This is the fact that nobody is going to tell you, but a question can come, because now in the 2025 prelims we have already seen that they are asking the question in detail. So it's our responsibility to study the things which are in news in detail, so that we able to answer these questions, right? We need to change our approach now, otherwise it will be too late if we are going to follow the traditional approach still, because we should know these things. In India, we have 4 zones. We call them seismic zone. So, can you tell me that Delhi is in which seismic zone? It's in seismic zone 4. Can you see here? This is our capital. This is Haryana. Haryana has 3 zones, right? So, zone 2 is like low risk. Zone 3 is moderate risk. Zone 4 is high risk. And zone 5 is very high risk. Okay. And you can see that the blue region are in zone 2. कौन से region है? राजस्थान, मध्य प्रदेश, उत्तर प्रदेश वाला region. और ये नीचे you can observe that Tamil Nadu and other state basically they are also zone 2. zone 3 के अंदर moderate risk है, zone 4 के अंदर high risk है, and zone 5 के अंदर very high risk है, right? So India's most vulnerable region जो है वो है हिमालय, north east, कच्छ का region and Andaman and Nicobar. Here you can see that Kutch is of very high. That's mean if we are thinking to build a dam, in this region or in northeast region, we need to play utmost precaution. We can't increase the pressure. हम सोचते हैं कि ठीक है यार बिल्ड कर देते हैं, बट व्हाट अबाउट सीपिंग ऑफ वाटर? वाटर विल गो डाउन इवेंचुअली इन द अर्थ, इट इज़ गोइंग टू एंटर द फॉल्ट क्रैक्स। उसकी वजह से क्या होगा, इट विल एक्ट एज लुब्रिकेंट, एंड जो रॉक्स हैं उनको मूवमेंट में आसानी हो जाएगी, दे विल मूव, दे विल बी डिस्प्लेस्ड, स्पेस क्रिएट हो जाएगा, द लैंड विल फॉल, एंड दैट व्हाट लीड्स टू अर्थक्वेक। ओके, नाउ इंडिया इज मोस्ट वनरेबल रीजन वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, अंडमान एंड निकोबार भी उनमें से एक है, ठीक है। रिमेंबर दिस, कभी एक क्वेश्चन आ जाए कि सिस्मिक जोन 4 में कौन कौन से एरिया थे, हिमालय, नॉर्थ ईस्ट, कच्छ, अंडमान एंड निकोबार। ओके, आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू दैट पी वेव्स क्या होते हैं, लॉन्गिट्यूडनल होते हैं, देयर इज टू एंड फोर्थ मूवमेंट, ठीक है, आगे पीछे जाते हैं, बैक एंड फोर्थ मूवमेंट है, स्पीड बहुत ज़्यादा है, लेस डैमेज करते हैं, रिलेटिवली लेस पार्टिकल को डिस्प्लेस करते हैं, इस वजह से डैमेज कम होती है। एस वेव्स क्या होती है, ट्रांसवर्स होती है, मतलब जिगजैग मोशन टाइप में, राइट। पार्टिकल जिस डायरेक्शन में मूव करते हैं उससे परपेंडिकुलरली मतलब ट्रेवल करते हैं, जिसकी वजह से क्या होता है, ये शेयरिंग को रेजिस्ट करती है। शेयरिंग फोर्स कहाँ पे, मतलब फिर उसकी वजह से क्या होता है, इसी वजह से क्योंकि रेजिस्ट करती है शेयरिंग को, डजंट एक्ट ऑन लिक्विड एंड गैसेस। आई ऑलरेडी डिस्कस दिस विद यू दैट द मैग्नीट्यूड क्या होता है, एनर्जी रिलीज हो रही है, वन मैग्नीट्यूड सपोज अगर रिलीज़ कर रहा है, हमारी अर्थ रिलीज़ कर रही है, ठीक है, तो वो हर जगह पे सेम है, मतलब कि इफ़ देर इज 6.5 मैग्नीट्यूड का अर्थक्वेक इन दिल्ली, मुंबई, टोक्यो, देन इसका मतलब है कि एनर्जी सेम निकली है तीनों जगह पे, राइट। ओनली वन मैग्नीट्यूड का मतलब, अब कभी क्वेश्चन आ जाए कि द दिस डिपेंडिंग ऑन द साइज ऑफ अर्थ, एवरी अर्थक्वेक हैज़ ओनली वन मैग्नीट्यूड। यस, हर अर्थक्वेक का एक ही मैग्नीट्यूड होता है। कभी आपने सुना है कि आज जैसे वेनेजुएला में 7.2 का भी मैग्नीट्यूड का अर्थक्वेक आया है और 5.2 का भी? नहीं ना, मैग्नीट्यूड तो एक ही है ना, और अर्थ पे कॉमन है ये, तो ओनली वन मैग्नीट्यूड। दिस इज़ अ कंफ्यूजिंग पॉइंट, आई वॉज ऑल्सो कन्फ्यूज बाई रीडिंग दिस, फिर मैंने इसको दोबारा पढ़ा, आई वॉज लाइक कि ठीक है, आई गॉट इट। अब साइंटिस्ट कैसे मेजर करते हैं, सिस्मोग्राफ का यूज़ करते हैं, इसमें सिस्मिक वेव की रिकॉर्डिंग होती है और जिगजैग लाइन से इशू होती है, ठीक है। अगर छोटी लाइन है, छोटी जिगजैग लाइन है, तो मतलब कम इंटेंसिटी का अर्थक्वेक है, कम एनर्जी रिलीज हुई है, मैग्नीट्यूड कम है, और अगर ज़्यादा लंबी लाइन है तो मतलब ज़्यादा बड़ा मैग्नीट्यूड है। क्लियर। वेव एम्पलीट्यूड क्या होता है, वेव एम्पलीट्यूड मतलब कितनी सिस्मिक वेव्स की कितनी हाइट रही है, राइट। सिस्मिक वेव्स हमने पढ़ा है, प्राइमरी सेकेंडरी हम देख चुके हैं ना, कितनी हाइट रही है उसकी। तो अगर मतलब ये क्या है, ये 10 के मल्टीपल में चलता है, तो हेयर दे हैव गिवन दैट एग्जांपल ऑल्सो। अगर 5 का मैग्नीट्यूड है, मतलब वेव एम्पलीट्यूड 1 सेंटीमीटर का, हम सपोज कर रहे हैं, सपोज अगर 5 मैग्नीट्यूड है, वेव एम्पलीट्यूड 1 सेंटीमीटर है, तो नेक्स्ट टाइम जब अर्थक्वेक आएगा 6 मैग्नीट्यूड का, तो वेव का एम्पलीट्यूड 10 सेंटीमीटर होगा। तो दिस इज व्हाट एम्पलीट्यूड इज फॉलोइंग अ लॉगरिथमिक पैटर्न, ओके। दैट इज व्हाई दिस स्केल, द रिचर्ड स्केल, इज कॉल्ड द लॉगरिथमिक स्केल। क्लियर। वन होल नंबर है, 10 फोल्ड से इंक्रीज करता है एम्पलीट्यूड, दैट इज वाई इट्स अ लोगरिथमिक स्केल, और एनर्जी 32 टाइम्स होती है, ओके। क्लियर। सो व्हाट विल हैपन अगर मैग्नीट्यूड 2 यूनिट इंक्रीज करेगा, तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है 100 टाइम ग्रेटर अर्थक्वेक आएगा, मतलब उसका वेव का जो एम्पलीट्यूड होगा वो 100 टाइम बढ़ जाएगा, और 1024 टाइम्स ग्रेटर जो होगी वो एनर्जी रिलीज होगी। समझ रहे हो, अगर वेनेजुएला में आज 7.2 का ये अर्थक्वेक आया, और आप एक बार वीडियो देखना कितनी बड़ी बड़ी बिल्डिंग गिरी है वहाँ पे, द नेक्स्ट टाइम अगर 8 हेक्टेयर का आ गया जो बहुत ही ज़्यादा डेंजरस होगा, तो आप ये लगा सकते हो कि अभी जो बिल्डिंग गिरी है ना, उसकी 32 टाइम मोर बिल्डिंग विल फॉल। आई डोंट वॉन्ट दीज थिंग्स टू हैपन, these are just assumption, and I want the country to never get such earthquake in future, okay. Just to make you understand, I have said this, there is no other purpose of this video. Hopefully you all understood that how earthquake form, how they travel. तो यहाँ पे क्या फॉल्ट, आई टोल्ड यू ना, फॉल्ट क्या होते हैं, क्रैक होते हैं, वेयर देयर इज ह्यूज प्रेशर एंड देयर रॉक्स आर ट्राइंग टू मूव, एंड अगर वाटर वहाँ पे ट्रेवल करेगा या कोई भी फ्लूइड करेगा ट्रेवल, सो देयर कैन बी अर्थक्वेक, राइट। सो फॉल्ट कौन कौन से, सच है ये बुकाना फॉल्ट, ठीक है, देन देयर इज सेंट सेबेस्टियन फॉल्ट, ओके। कैन यू प्लीज ऑब्जर्व दिस लोकेशन, एक बार देखो इन लोकेशन को, What do you see here? Listen, अब earthquake जो यहाँ पे आया है ना वेनेजुएला में, तो यू नीड टू नो दैट देर आर 3 important fault. अब ये ना न्यूज़ का क्वेश्चन बन गया. यू प्लेसेस इन न्यूज़ का क्वेश्चन क्या होना चाहिए? यू शुड नो वेयर इज बोकोनो फॉल्ट. ये कहाँ पे है? ये वेस्टर्न एडीज रीजन में है. ठीक है, यहाँ पे बोकोनो फॉल्ट. ओके. सेकेंड इज बेसिकली द सेंट सेबेस्टियन fault. Saint Sebastian. This is on the northern coast. Okay, north coastal area. You know. Next one is El Pilar fault. El Pilar fault कहाँ पे है? This is in eastern Venezuela. यहाँ पे. So this was all. The major cause of the Venezuela earthquake, can be because of the movement of the tectonic plates, because we know that there are two major tectonic plates. One is the Caribbean plate and South American plate. तो उसके बीच की वजह से हो सकता है. Otherwise we know that it's a major region with the crude oil and all, and people are always engaged in extracting oil. So that could be a reason. So this was all. Hope you like my video. Do share, subscribe my video, and tell me. I am going to ask you one MCQ. उसके बारे में बताना कि what do you mean by reservoir induced earthquake. Okay, you need to tell me that in the comment section. I'll read your comment, and I feel really nice when people respond there. Thank you so much for your time and patience. Keep watching.